Okay, welcome back to part 2 of our assignment. This is where we're going to create a customized cover letter tailored to that job description using AI. All right, this one's going to go a little bit quicker because we've only got a couple of prompts and you guys have already got some of the basics of AI down. So let's take a look at the assignment. I'll remove my picture here. I've got GPT-4o all ready to go, and make sure sometimes it defaults down to 3.5 and make sure that you're always selecting that 4o and you're getting the best brain possible. And all right, well, let's go ahead and pull up the assignment. So assignment number 2, I'll drag this over, is we're going to use that AI to create that compelling cover letter. So again, there's all kinds of opinions about the cover letter, but what you really are hoping to do is to grab their attention and do it quickly, because remember, they only are looking at these things for a few seconds, maybe 20, maybe 30 max. So you really want to grab their attention. And how do you do that? It's usually not talking too much about yourself. When you think about the employer, is they're looking to hire someone to solve a problem that they have. And that problem is listed out in the job description. You know, all those various responsibilities and tasks, those are problems they want solved. So we call it a pain point. That's their pain point. You want to address how you're going to solve their pain point. And that's what these attention-grabbing first paragraphs can do. You have a problem with this. Here's my skills. Here's how I can help you. Don't say I'm great. You know, it's not about how great I am on these letters. It's how I can help you and your organization. So try to have your ego to take, even if you got all kinds of these great things, you got to try to tie that back into helping them with their problem, because that's what they're paying you for. They're paying you for to solve problems. So we're going to create an attention grabbing hook on that first paragraph. And then from there, we're going to have the AI use, it's always going to be using that resume, the one we've already worked on. So we've already tailored this resume to this specific job description. So we're keeping that theme from assignment 1 to assignment 2. We're still working with that job description. And we have that tailored resume now. So we're not going to use the general resume. We're going to use the tailored resume and the job description to create that hook and then to finish out the cover letter. And of course, always check it to be factual and tweak it to make it your own. All right, well, let's take a look at the first part of this. So we're going to create that attention-grabbing hook by using a first prompt. And then to do that, we're going to upload the tailored resume and the job description. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab the prompt, or let's show you what prompt number 1 is. I'm sticking with that persona. I want the AI to maintain this persona of an expert resume writer with 20 years of experience assisting job seekers and securing roles in healthcare management. Your task is to write an attention-grabbing hook for a cover letter that highlights your client's experience and qualifications based on their resume. Based on the resume. I'm trying to keep back. Don't make up stuff. Ensure the hook shows their ability to empathize and effectively tackle the challenges outlined in the provided job description. Please do not fabricate any information. Here are the resume and job descriptions for reference. Okay, so let's copy that prompt. Copy. I'm going to move this off to the side. We've got our GPT-4o ready to go. Paste the prompt in there. And then we needed to give it a couple pieces of information. You may want to use this button here. This is starting a new chat, just to kind of separate from the other chat that we've had, just to kind of clear the decks. In some cases, having these long conversations with AI is very helpful because it remembers everything that we're talking about. But I think in this case, you know, you could always try it, and if you got something that was not quite what you're looking for, try just having a separate conversation with it. But that usually kind of sets the zero, if you will. Now, if you notice, it remembers all these conversations that we have, And it keeps that context in those separate buckets, so you can always revisit those areas if you need to. So that's kind of cool because all these chats are logged down here. All right, so we need to grab, let's see, we need to grab the tailored resume. Okay, so we've got that one that we produced in the last assignment. We'll drop that in there for Linda Smith. And then we also need, she was going after that client service manager job. So here's that job description. I'm making sure I captured all the data I possibly could, all the information on that job description when I cut and paste off of their website. All right, so here we go. And let's see what it writes for us. And of course, you don't want to, if you know the hiring manager, put the name in there. You'll still have to do some general letter formatting if you have that ability. But dear hiring manager, with over a decade of progressive leadership in healthcare management, I'm thrilled to apply for client service manager at 365 Healthcare Services. My experience in developing and executing innovating recruiting strategies, coupled with proven track record of reducing operational efficiencies by 30%, equips me to address the dynamic needs of your rapidly expanding team. That's how you're going to help me. Oh, great. I need help with that. My team is growing and we're really don't know what we're doing. So we need to improve our efficiencies. And here's something catching my eye. I thrive in a fast-paced environment, a leveraging empathetic approach committed to high standards of strong client relationships and staff performance. I'm assuming staff performance was mentioned in that job description. My goal is to bring the same energy and dedication to your organization, ensuring that every client and staff member receives the highest level of service and support. So, I would argue who could write a better intro paragraph? And just as a normal person, probably could not write. A professional, yes, a professional resume writer who's written thousands of cover letters might be able to sneak something out, tease it out a little bit more. But here's something you did literally in about 20 seconds. I could, and there's an iterative process with AI where you can kind of go back and forth and hone it even more. We're not really going to get into that. But you really can't. If you wanted to play around with it, you can. But I like that. We're going to use that. We're going to use that hook. We're going to use that first paragraph. So let's go back to our assignment. We're almost done, guys. Let's go back to our assignment. Now we need to complete the cover letter. So using the attention-grabbing hook and the provided GPT prompt number 2, we're going to complete the cover letter. So there's going to be a little bit of, you're going to make some customizations here to your cover letter or to this prompt. So in prompt number 2, again, this is kind of the standard here. Your task is to finish writing a cover letter for the job description provided. Please do not fabricate any information. Use the resume provided and ensure the cover letter remains within 250 words. Here's what you have so far. So what you want to do in this section, boom, right there, insert the hook. You're going to insert that hook in there. Let me copy that. There's my hook. Oops, did I hit the right button? Copy. Go back to my prompt. Let's paste that into there. Okay, and the resume for reference. Boom, that's all I need to do. I'm going to copy this. And now we're going to jump over to GPT and we're going to throw that prompt in there. Okay, move this off to the side. Now, I have given it the resume and I have given it the job description. And typically it's so much better in remembering that, but just for simplicity's sake and to get you guys used to it, I'm going to submit the resume again, and then have it kind of figure out the rest from there. So, all right, so let's go ahead. Let's see. Okay, so here's the resume. Okay, great. Okay. And let's see. This is the tailored resume. And I've got, yes, and I have I cut and paste that into that. All right, excellent. All right, let's see what it's got. Okay, there's my hook that I produced. Interesting. No, I like this. I mean, you'd have to ask yourself, could I write something like this? So you got that hook that really grabs them. Hopefully they read on a little bit about your history, previous positions. I'm particularly drawn to healthcare 365 due to your commitment to excellence and innovative approach to client services. I'm confident that my background in healthcare management combined with my leadership and strategic skills will contribute to the continued growth of your team. Nice. So there you go. All right. So you've got this cover letter. You got this hook in here that hopefully catches their eye and keeps them reading. And that is pretty much it with the AI portion of the assignment. So let's take a look at it. Of course, you're going to review that, make sure it's factual. And what I would like you to do then is write a one paragraph, not a page, one paragraph critique of your cover letter. Evaluate its effectiveness, how well you think the hook works, the clarity of your qualifications, the overall persuasiveness, and again, is it accurate? Make sure it's accurate. And then what you'll submit in one document, again, use one Microsoft Word document, submit the completed cover letter and the one paragraph critique. And that is all that's necessary for this assignment. Okay, so I'm going to spend just a couple minutes just to get you guys thinking about the future. And we've just covered 2 applications of AI, but it can do vastly so much more. But even in the realm of resume or job preparation, there are, I could have 10 videos on this. One that I would highly encourage you to do. We could not fit it in as an assignment for this class. But imagine this, right? So let's say you get through to the interview. You know there's going to be interview questions, but what are they? Well, here's what you do. You take that job description, you write a prompt, something like, based off of this job description, what would you think would be the top 10 questions that I would encounter during an interview? Bloop. It'll give you the 10 most common questions aligned to that job description, maybe that industry. There you got the questions. Now you're like, oh geez, now I got to answer these questions, right? Well, you can start practicing. Always practice your interview questions. Even if those exact questions don't come up, there's usually the questions that's somewhat similar that you can apply those somewhat rehearsed answers. You don't want to seem too rehearsed, but you got to have some thought behind what you're going to, some of the things that you're going to say. But going back to these questions, so it's going to produce I'd say 10, maybe 15, but I'd do 10 questions using the job description provided. And then you can say, here is my resume. Maybe I use my general resume. How would I, based off of the factual information in my resume, how could I best answer these questions? And there's various approaches that you can do to answer questions, but maybe to use use these questions to answer the questions in a way showing evidence that I can perform or do these duties. They always like stories. So when you one of the interview techniques is situation, action, response, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. Google them, figure out which ones you want to do, or ask ChatGPT. What are the systematic ways to answer interview questions? Tell me the most common methods. So situation, action, response is one. So here was the situation I was faced with. Here was the actions that I took, and then here was the results. So you could even tell the AI, ChatGPT, to answer those questions based off of what it's gleaning out of your resume in that situation, action, response format. Practice those. It's even getting more exciting. So very soon, actually, this is not science fiction. This is any day now. I'm waiting for the update to happen. And this will be available apparently to everybody, is my understanding. And we haven't even gone over the vision capabilities within ChatGPT, but it has vision capabilities. It can see, it can take screenshots, you can show it pictures, and it can analyze visual elements. There's going to be a video element to it where it can see you in live time, like you're watching me now. It's going to watch a person. Why would you want to do that? Well, you can have conversations and all kinds of things. If you want to see the demos, you can see the demos out there. Just, Google it from ChatGPT. That came out about a month ago. But one of them was interview preparation. And they showed an individual who, in the AI, when you use ChatGPT on the phone, it has voice capabilities. So you literally talk to it. You can have long form conversations. It's pretty amazing. So the one on your phone, they showed that the guy set up the phone. He said, "Hey, I'm interviewing at XYZ company. I'm interviewing for this position. Here's my resume." Uploaded that. "Please help me practice for an interview and give me 10 questions and critique me on how I respond." It talked to him. It gave him the questions like someone interviewing, and then offered him critiques. There was another point where the person practicing said, "Is there anything else you'd recommend for me to be more successful in the interview?" And during the interview practice that he was doing with ChatGPT, he was touching his face a lot, going like this. And sometimes we do this when we answer questions. And GPT said, "You may not want to touch your face because it shows that you may be nervous or not confident." And I thought that was like, whoa, which is true. That body language is very important in the interview. So it was picking up the body language that might be appropriate. Even dress. He asked about dress. And he was dressed in I think it was just a very casual, nice black t-shirt. I'm not sure if he had a kind of a jacket on or not, but it wasn't a suit jacket. It was kind of very casual. But GPT said, well, based off of the job, because it was a tech job, that form of dress was acceptable. But it'd be interesting. I'm gonna, when this comes out, if I'm wearing just a shirt, that says, Cedar Point on it, and I'm interviewing for a professional healthcare administration job, would it tell me you may not want to wear a t-shirt? You might want to wear, maybe a collared shirt, maybe a tie. I don't know. But that is, that's coming out any day now. So we're waiting for that. That update was announced again, I think about 2 months ago, and it's rolling. So I'm expecting it anytime this summer. I keep checking my phone for when I have that. But that'll be a very interesting ability with ChatGPT. How can you learn more about AI? Well, you can ask it. That's one way. You can also, it's a wonderful teacher. Probably one of the best teachers in the world. And I would see some major changes in the next, probably 30 years on that. It's going to take a while, but I could see complete courses taught by AI. Actually, now I could see that without a question. Because it can teach you in a manner that's customized to your learning style. It's always patient. It always provides thorough answers, and it's always there for you. So when I saw that, I was like, well, I'm glad I've only got about 10 years here because I don't know what's going to happen in the future with education. I could see AIs taking huge swaths of that and doing it excellent. But you can ask AI about how to learn about AI. But for me, YouTube. So there's hundreds of videos about AI. Explore around, find someone that's showing. I follow about 3 of them regularly. The ones that show kind of practical tips are very good. So I also like the ones that talk about AI news. They keep me abreast of what's changing, what's going on, and they might show some practical applications too. So look for a mix of that, and you'll find one. You'll find one. If they've got around 100,000 subscribers, they're probably pretty good. And we've just touched the surface of AI. AI music is amazing. Art is amazing. AI video, not the video seeing, but the video that it produces is going to be revolutionary. You will be able to produce entire movies with prompts, and that is already had some impact in the media area with some folks. So yeah, it'll be a very, very interesting time. But yeah, explore all around it. It is an amazing technology out there. And you definitely don't want to, you do not want to avoid it. And if there was anything that you were to practice a skill set in, AI would be very much on top of the list of what I would be practicing the skill set in, especially in administrative and managerial roles. Anything done with a computer, anything done over the phone, anything that's done through any kind of electronic means is going to be impacted. Of course, bedside clinical applications, starting IVs and wound care. We've got probably about 20 years for that. So until they get the robots good enough. But that's a whole other thing as well with the robots. But that will not be implicated or impacted as immediately as knowledge workers and what we're seeing here. So be that person that knows AI and show that value to your employer, and I think you'll see your career benefited greatly. All right, excellent job, guys. Hope you appreciated, or hope you enjoyed at least these 2 assignments, and they helped you with in that small little area with your resume and your cover letter, and also if you haven't been already introduced to AI, that you were introduced to it through this assignment. Everybody have a great week. Thanks.